lying down. I'm going to start on your backs. And if you have a strap, you can use it. If you don't have a strap, please don't worry. First though, before we go there, if you're new to me, my name is Maeve, and if you're working with injuries and you want me to know about them, you can put them in the chat. And if you're pre or postnatal, let me know and I'll give you modifications. I try to give modifications no matter what, but it's really helpful if I know there's specific things that we're working with so I can hone that in instead of just trying to throw everything out there for every single thing that could possibly be happening in our world, right? But the most important thing is that you take care of yourself. I cannot say that enough times. This is your practice. Everything can be skipped, modified. You can find an alternative. I'm going to take the right leg up. The strap if you have it. I'm going to take the strap to the base of the heel. So like where the heel and the arch meet. And then bend the knee. And then push the heel into the strap. And then gently just create some weight by holding onto the strap with the arms. And feel with this bent knee that the crease of the hip gets a little deeper. And you start to kind of move this thigh bone a little deeper into the hip socket. And then gently push into the strap to straighten. You're going to bend the knee again, inhaling. And then exhale, push, push, push away. And just do that a few times. So if you don't have a strap, you're just doing this with your hand at your hamstring. Okay? And just start to match the breath, inhaling and exhaling. As you're here, if you want, you can extend your left leg all the way out straight. And then start to push that left foot down, whether the knee is bent or the leg is straight. And the next time the leg comes up, you're going to release the leg. So the strap can come off to the side, hands off to the side, and then just hold the leg up. With an inhale, open out to the right. Any amount. Try to stabilize the shoulders down. And then draw back up. And then take this right leg over to the left. And how far you go is up to you. So I'm just going to take it a little bit across personally and just not let it flop to the floor and keep some energy here. But if you want to take the full twist, go for it. And then back up to center. Put the right foot down, bring the left leg up. Strap at the base of the heel or hold the hamstring. Even if you have a strap and you just prefer to hold the hamstring, go for it. Take an inhale, and then exhale, push away. Good. Just keep moving like that. Feeling the action of straightening the leg by pressing the foot away, not just by jamming the knee straight. We're going to support around the joints, engaging the quadricep. We're going to practice this quite a bit. But really getting that sense of pushing the foot away to straighten. If you want, that right leg can extend out and keep going. And the next time you take that leg to straight, release the leg. Take the arms out to the side, stabilize. And then inhale, open out to the left. And then draw back to center and take the leg across over toward the right. Come through center, both knees into your chest, give yourself a good squeeze. And then come onto your hands and your knees, however you want to get there. Gently draw the thumbs toward each other. Spiral the pinky fingers a little bit wide. Pull the gaze forward, pull the heart slightly forward, then tuck your toes, hover your knees off the ground. Beautiful. Take a breath in. And then downward facing dog. We're going to move between these two poses. So you're going to hover, knees off the ground, inhale, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Hold the gaze, the heart forward. And then exhale. Push the heels back and drive through. So your legs don't have to come all the way to straight in downward facing dog. They might never straighten fully. But we're creating the action of straightening the legs. And just do that a few more times on your own. If you are new to me, my name is Maeve. Welcome, welcome. In case you came in after I introed myself. Do that a few more times. Thank you, Bridget. Beautiful. Beautiful. Keep that flow going. Really nice. Gorgeous. Hi, Alan. Nice to see you. Or your logo. Next time you're in downward facing dog, pause there. Palm on the ground. Let the fingers be long. I always think of my fingers as being long and graceful in downward facing dog. So you're not clenching the floor, but they are pressing down. You're imprinting down, but they're like long and graceful. Inhale, come forward to plank. Pull your right knee into your chest and pause. Let the upper back round a little bit. Push the floor away, and then step your right foot forward. Fingertips stay on the ground. If you have blocks, put them next to your foot. Give yourself a little added height if you need it. Work the back leg strong. So heel stretching back, heart stretching forward, knee and thigh pushing toward the sky on that back leg. And then right hip, deepening the crease a bit more and hugging the hip in and back. As your fingers press down to the floor or to blocks, draw the shoulders down the back gently. Take another breath here. And then plant your hands, step back to plank. Take a breath in plank, lower to your belly, exhale. Shalabhasana, reach the arms forward, reach the legs back. And really allow yourself to feel that, the forward and the back, not necessarily up, but forward and back. Take another inhale. Bring your hands down, downward facing dog. Pause here. And then shift forward to plank, pull your left knee into your chest. Round the upper back. Take a few breaths here. And then step the left foot forward. Use blocks, stay on the fingertips, pull the heart forward. Start to power up that back leg. Good, really nice. So we get this straight line from the head through the back heel. And then plant your hands, step back to plank, and lower to your belly again. Use your knees on that transition if it's helpful for you. Shalabhasana again. Reach the arms overhead, long, legs back. So gravity wants to impede you coming up here, right? So don't worry about coming up, go long, the up will follow. Hands next to the ribs, use your knees, come up and back, downward facing dog. Take a little pause there. Give yourself a moment in down dog. Beautiful, nice job. Good. Walk your feet to your hands. Come halfway with your inhale. Bring your hands onto your shins. Lengthen the spine a lot. Feel the balance in your feet. Keep the breath flowing. Your knees do not have to be straight. Your legs do not have to be straight. Take another breath in. Keep all of that space and just melt down. Push into your feet. Rise up to stand with an inhale. With your exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Don't run away on me. Stay with me, please. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips to forward fold. Come halfway with your inhale. And then fold back down with your exhale. Rise up to stand. Inhale. Bring your hands into your heart with your exhale. Yes. Inhale, rise up. Kneecaps lift, exhale, hinge and fold. Come halfway, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Rise up to stand, inhale. And then draw your hands to your heart, exhale. One more time, half salute, inhale. Exhale and down. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Let the breath bring you up, rise. Use your hips, firm the glutes. Bring your hands into your heart. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bowing forward. Halfway, inhale. Step your right foot back. And then rise up, crescent pose. Take a little pause here. Engage your right hip. Nice generous bend in both the knees is needed. So especially in the front knee, but if you need to bend the back knee more to kind of lift the pelvis, go for it. One more inhale. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step back to plank. Lower to your belly, please. Cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right foot steps forward. Crescent pose, rising up. Take a few breaths here. Draw the feet energetically toward each other. Take another breath in. Bring your hands and your feet to the top of the mat. Come up halfway with your inhale. And then fold with your exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. We do that again, inhale and rise. Exhale, hinge and bow. Lengthen your heart forward, inhale. Step your left foot back, crescent pose, inhale. Hands to the ground, exhale, lower down to your belly, please. Cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot steps forward. Rise to crescent. And bring your hands top of the mat, feet top of the mat. Halfway, inhale. And then fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow forward. Halfway, inhale. Right foot steps back and then listen. Right knee is going to gently come to the ground. Anjaneyasana, rise up. Bring your hands down, exhale. Step back to plank and lower all the way to your belly. Slide the arms forward, come into Sphinx. Lift the heart. Tuck your toes, come into a forearm plank. Spend about 5 breaths here. Firm the legs, work to straighten the legs. Of course, knees can be down for extra support. Push the floor away with the forearms, spread the shoulder blades, and then carefully lower the hips back down. Pass through Sphinx, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right foot steps forward, left knee comes gently down. Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands top of the mat, bring your feet top of the mat, forward fold. Halfway, inhale. Release the spine back down, exhale. Gather energy, rise up. Draw your hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Halfway inhale. Left foot steps back, left knee to the ground. Anjaneyasana, rise up. Release the hands, step back, plank. Lower to your belly. Sphinx, inhale. Forearm plank, exhale. Come back to Sphinx, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot steps forward, right knee gently down. Low lunge, rise up. Hands and feet top of your mats. Halfway inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise. Inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bowing forward. Halfway inhale. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, come to plank, inhale. This time chaturanga or the floor, exhale. Up dog, inhale, cobra, sphinx, you've got options now. Downward facing dog, exhale. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Rise, inhale. Bow, exhale. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Of course, if chaturanga does not suit you, for the rest of your life you never take another chaturanga, fantastic, it's your call. You'll make your way to down dog however you want, every time we're presented with that. Rise to your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Rise, inhale. Draw your hands into your heart, exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale, bow. Offer your heart, inhale. Make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, right leg stretches back, please. Open the hip if it feels good. Bend the knee if it feels good. And then re-square. Draw your knee down the center into your chest. Place your right foot between your hands. Come to the fingertips, pull the heart forward, and then just sneak this left arm outside the right thigh. Bring the hands together. Powerful back leg. Push the heel away, pull the heart away. Really beautiful. Every inhale, we create length. Every exhale, we sort of take the space that's offered to us and maybe we deepen it. And sometimes that's not a physical depth. Beautiful. One more inhale. Release your hands down. Straighten your front leg, bend your back knee, and just shift back. So you're like in a floating Ardha Hanumanasana, floating half split. Pull the top of the foot, the toes toward the heart gently, and then pull the heart toward the top of the foot. And then lift a little bit, bend the front knee just a little bit. Dig that right heel in a little more and then sink back into it and see if you can straighten the leg a little bit more. So that same action we had with the strap, pushing the heel forward. Now we're kind of digging the heel down and pulling the hip away from the heel. So the heel is now the fixed point. Whereas when we were on our back in the beginning, our hip was a fixed point. Good, push off the back foot, soften the front knee, block if you want it, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Take that block in any height. Feel the length of the tailbone. And then bend your top leg, but don't go into Tripadasana, just bend the top leg. And then push the heel away. And maybe do it with a standing leg too. Let's just do both legs, let's go for it. Bend both knees, and then push the feet away. One more time like that. And then press, and then hold that. So those actions are making us bigger. They're making our legs longer. They're giving us more space. Yes, so good. Come to chair at the top of your mat. Feet either parallel and a little wider, or you can have your big toes together, whatever feels good on your body and your knees and your back. Lift the heart, find your center. Your weight doesn't need to all be in your heels. Let your toes do some of the work. Balance that. And then right knee rises up. And start to drive that right leg out. That heel forward. And then notice if you want to kind of like lean back, or if you want to slump a little bit, maybe the leg needs to come a little lower. Prioritize your spine, get real tall here. Inhale, take the leg out to the side, bend the knee. Take your right hand to your right knee. And you're going to start to turn and lean toward the front of your mat with your left arm. We're going to come into Warrior Two. I just got the best hip hop on that. That was everything for me right there. Hip hop, done. Good. I have poppy hips. If you have poppy hips, you understand. One more breath in. And then bring your hands around. Listen, just sweep the left leg up and back. Open the hip if it feels good. Bend the knee if it feels good. And then come back through center, or come through center. And then draw your knee into your chest. Shift forward, place your left foot forward. Come to the fingertips, find the length. Engage that right glute, push the right thigh to the sky, and then just take this right arm outside the left leg. And let's start that gentle twist here. So the second you hook your arm on your leg, you're using an outside force to twist, and that's not wrong. Where I asked you to do that, we're using the arms to help to twist yourself around. At the same time, can you support that action with your actual core, with the core musculature, with the breath? So you're not just muscling through, you're kind of working all those things together. One more inhale. Release the twist. Bend the back leg and straighten the front leg. Dig that front heel in. It's like a floating half split. Pull the heart forward. Top of the foot, toes pull toward the heart, heart toward the foot. And then kind of soften the front knee, maybe lift a little higher. Dig that heel in again and then see if you can re-straighten a little more. Good, use the back foot for leverage. Bend the front knee, push off, come into half moon, please. Lengthen out that low back. Bend both knees and then push. And bend both knees and press away. And then one more time, bend. Press away, take up space, be big. Yeah, really beautiful. Stay in your breath. One more inhale. Come into chair top of your mats. Lift the heart. Find your center. And then pick up your left knee. Rise up. Find your center and try to extend that leg out, even if it means you need to lower it down. Try not to lean back. Try not to go into a crunch. Yes, 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 yes. I'm going to turn a little bit because I'm going to run out of space. And so I can see you too. Inhale, open that leg out to the side. We did this on our backs, right? Good. Bend the knee. Take the hand to the knee. Beautiful. Yes. Good. Start to kind of turn and lean to the front of your mat so you get a nice little counterbalance and come into warrior two. One more inhale. And then hands come down to the ground. This time step to plank, chaturanga. Rise, inhale. Of course you can skip it. Downward facing dog, exhale. Little pause and down dog. We're going to do that with less time in each posture. Trust your body. As you need to, you skip, you add in, you be creative as much as you want. Right leg back, inhale. Open the hip, bend the knee. Come back through center and pull your knee into your chest. Place your right foot forward. Left arm outside the right thigh. We twist to the right. Take a breath in. And then exhale, release it. Half splits floating. And then push forward, half moon. Come to chair at the top of your mat. Lift your right knee up. Extend that right leg out straight. Take the leg out to the side. Maybe keep the legs straight. We transition to warrior two. Yeah, good. Just moving in space, just negotiating our space. Take a breath in, bring your hands down. Left leg sweeps back to the sky, open up the hip. And then knee into your chest. Place your foot forward. Right arm outside the left thigh. Open up with an inhale. And then exhale, release it. Straighten the front leg, shifting back. And then push off, half moon. Come to chair, top of the mat. Left knee lifts up. Extend the leg out. Take that leg over to the left. And then warrior two. Stay for a breath. Release your hands down. Right leg straight up and back. Pause here. Come high in the left toes. Bend the left knee. And then just take a couple little hops here. Or not. You can also just kind of stay here, lifting and lowering the legs. You're going to try to hop your left foot forward. Keep the hands down, pull the heart forward. And then melt down, standing splits. Reach the right leg back. Pivot to the pinky side of the right foot. Consider taking this left knee or left foot with you. Come into Vashisthasana. And then Chaturanga, pass through. And then left leg back. Lift the right heel, and then you can just lift and lower without going anywhere. But if you want, you're going to take a few little hops here. Keep the belly pulling in. When you're ready, right foot comes to the top of the mat. Lengthen forward. So let's take a supported warrior three for a few breaths. Pushing the heels, the right heel down, the left heel away. That doesn't necessarily mean the legs are straight. They might be. And then melt down, standing splits. left hand, the pinky side of the left foot, and then maybe Vashisthasana with the foot or with the knee. Yeah. And then make your way to downward facing dog. Little pause. Rise high to your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Hold with your exhale. Chair, inhale. Hands into your heart. You're not going to touch the left arm to your right thigh. We're going to turn in this direction. You're going to hover your left elbow above that right thigh. Push the hands together, broaden the collarbones. Then elbow comes gently down and a little deeper into that twist. So really feeling the difference between when the arms are powering it and when your center's powering it. And then can we tap into that a little bit? Come back to chair in the center. Press up to stand. Take a little mini back bend here on the top. Engage the glutes. Tailbone toward the ground. Come back into chair. Hands to heart. Turn to the left, but hover that right arm above the left leg. Push the hands together, broaden the chest. Where's your breath? And then light contact, and go a little deeper. Come back through the center. Press up. Push the heels down. Lift the front of the hip points up. Engage the glutes. Little standing back bend. Rise up, forward fold. Lengthen halfway. Inhale. Make your way to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, right leg stretches back. Open the hip, bend the knee. This time if you want, follow the foot around. Just let the physics kind of get light in this right hand. Let the foot bring you around. If it's there for you and it feels good, come into wild thing. Come around. Right foot top of the mat. Up on the back toes, left arm outside the right thigh. Retwist. Find your center. So good. Release the hands down. Floating half split, sinking back. Pushing off, half moon, maybe Chakasana this time. If you're taking that top foot, push the foot into the hand. And then chair pose, top of the mat. Right knee lifts up. Take that right leg out. Consider taking the big toe or some part of the foot, and then open out knee or foot with or without contact. We're going to follow this through Warrior Two. Beautiful. Give me a little pause here. Straighten the front leg. Lift up. And then we're going to pause here for triangle. Root down. Open up. One more inhale. And then bring the hand around. Right hand comes down. Maybe take your left hand, first two fingers, thumb to the big toe or the heel or the pinky side of the foot. We're coming into Vashisthasana on this right hand, right foot or knee. You do not have to take this leg up, but maybe it's there for you. And then listen, wide open from here. Or not. Three-legged dog alternative. Left foot top of your mat. Right arm comes outside the left thigh. Start your center, and then let the arms help you out. Release your hands down, floating half splits, and then pushing off, half moon. Option for Shavasana. You take the foot, kick it away. So good. Really nice. Come into chair pose, top of your mat. And those transitions. Left knee lifts up. You can take the knee or you can take the foot. And then take it out to the side. And then start to lean forward. And then warrior two. And settle. Rise up, straightening the legs, reach the arms up. Pull that right hip back, hinge, 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 hinge. Trikonasana. Balance the weight in your feet. So maybe you need to push more into the big toe, but maybe you don't. Maybe your big toe's already heavy. If that's the case, wake up the pinky side of the foot. Graceful toes, just like our fingers were graceful in down dog, the toes are graceful here. But you're imprinting the feet down. It's like your feet are very confident. One more inhale. Release the left hand around. We transition to Vashisthasana, any version of Vashisthasana. And then into Wild Thing, if you care to, or maybe three-legged dog. And then we're going to meet. Come forward. Chaturanga, or not. Maybe the floor. Maybe you skip this altogether, and you're in downward facing dog. Take your gaze toward your thumbs. Lift your heels. Don't go anywhere, please. Bend your knees. Scoop the belly back, and then, if you can, in one movement, just put the forearms down. Then lace your hands. Tuck the pinky fingers so you have a nice flat foundation. Walk the feet in a little closer. Knees do not have to straighten here. They might as you come into dolphin. Push the ground away. Drop the head between the arms at your ears. Fall between your biceps as much as you can. Of course, that's pending shoulder mobility, so if that doesn't happen easily, don't worry. But you're allowing the head to kind of hang. I think of the head here like it's soft, your neck is soft, the head is just kind of dangling, but it's not passive. It's not like just flowing around. It's soft, but you're still connected. Pull the gaze forward. Good. Keep the hands laced, walk your feet back. Forearm plank. Bring your feet together. And then pivot to the pinky side of your left foot. Keep both of your arms down. Pull the gaze forward. Pull the heart forward. Breathe. Back through center. And then over to the right. Right foot comes down, left foot stacks on top. Gaze a little forward. Come back through center. Slowly lower the hips. And keep the hands laced or separate. Come into Sphinx. Pull the heart forward. Good. Push into the hands, lift the elbows, take your right arm out to the side. Elbow is bent, take your hand a little higher, like so, elbow straight out from the shoulder, and then lift it, pull the whole thing up a little bit more forward for the top of your mat. Roll onto the right side, stack your feet. Use your left hand to give a little pressure, or not. last breath. And release through center. And then look to the right. Well, actually, you can look at your arm first to make sure you're in a good spot. Take the left arm out to the side. Elbow directly out from the shoulder, and then a little bit more toward the top of your mat. Roll onto your left side. Press that whole arm down. Use your right hand to give yourself a little leverage. Stack the legs, stretch the legs long. I kind of feel like I could stay here all day. I know you'd get bored, so we won't. Last inhale. Release through center. Come back to downward facing dog. Right leg stretches back. Right foot steps forward. Use a block if you want under your left hand. You're going to keep your left hand directly under your left shoulder. So when we start to get into this pose, you're going to want to take your hand to the right. Don't. Just keep it over here to the left for today. Just for today. It's just for today. And pretty much your left foot and your left hand are in a straight line. Right hand comes to your right hip. Back heel is lifted. So we're just taking a variation on revolved triangle. And it's a variation because the back heel is lifted. Yeah. Roll the chest open. Find that sensation you just had with your arm against the ground. Lift the elbow up. Actually bend this arm like exactly how we had on the ground. Recreate that sensation, that kind of pressing forward into the ground. Take the arm up. Imagine there's a wall in front of you here. Press into that imaginary wall and crawl the hand up higher. Really nice. Bring your hand back down to your right hip, bend the right knee. Take your left hand forward. A block is a glorious thing right now. Lift the left leg up. Stay twisting to the right. Revolved half moon. Option to bend that back leg to find the foot and then to kick it away. Beautiful. Release the hand around. Standing splits, forward fold if you want, or if you want, kicking up. So just taking a few little lifts here. Maybe actually finding a handstand, maybe not. Oops! I'm about to take out a vase around here. Good. And then take it back, however you want to get there. Chaturanga. Sometimes you're going to know when to let go of it, right? Trying to save it. Move into down dog. Pause. Left leg goes back with your inhale. And then step your left foot forward. Right hand, right foot pretty much in line. So when you look down, if that means your right foot is way to the left, give yourself a little scoot out. It's going to make it so much easier, I promise. And then left hand to your hip. And then bend the left elbow. And we've got that imaginary wall or floor, whatever you want, to recreate that sensation. Stack the hand up. And then use the back toes. Get some leverage here. Yes, take one more inhale. Good, bring your hand back to your hip. Soften the front knee, push off the back foot. I love a block for this pose. If you don't have one, how about a water bottle or something else? Revolved half moon. Option to bend that back leg, find the foot, and kick it away. So in the action of trying to straighten that left leg, are you just jamming the knee back, or are you lifting up the knee? Are you pushing the heel away? Yes. I think you know it. I was looking for an answer there, but be truthful. Release this out gently. Standing splits, so like a single leg forward fold. Maybe bring the feet together and take a forward fold if you need it. If you want, we'll take some handstands here. So when I say taking handstands, it's like, you don't have to think of it as being like straight up and down. It's everything in between. If your hands are what you're standing on, it's a handstand. Doesn't have to be pretty. It can be hideous and knocking things over. It's the sense of being in your hands. And then when you're ready, back to down dog. However you want to get there. And let's walk our hands back to our feet. You're going to take your right hand to your right ankle. I'm sorry, left hand to your left ankle, right hand to your right hip. You're like watching me and I'm doing exactly the opposite of what it is. Okay, we're going to turn to the right. So you're pressing into that left arm to get a deeper rotation here. Good. Maybe this left hand comes over to the right foot. And then you go a little deeper. Or not. This is perfect. This does not have to change. Maybe the hand comes to the floor. Maybe the knees bend. Maybe this left arm slides to the outside of the right leg. From here, you can open it up. Hands come down if you want. Side crow. Or maybe Vinyasa. And then we come back around. We come out exactly the same way we came in to forward fold. And then pause. The right hand stays on the right foot. Good. You start to turn. Take your left hand to your left hip. And then maybe the right hand transitions over to the left foot. Maybe the arm comes up, maybe you bend the knees, and maybe the arm comes to the outside. So I'm going to go on an angle here. And so we're not starting with the legs together, which can feel a little weird on this transition, but you've got it. I swear you've got it. And then we come back out the same way that we came in and release. If you like Pada Hastasana, whole hand under your foot. Maybe instead you hold the big toes. Good. Take the hands out in front of you. Separate the feet. Maybe a little wider. Start to send the hips back. Onto Malasana with the hands stretching forward. Good, stay here, or take the hands forward, take a little hop, and then come right back and land. Reach the hands forward, little hop, and then back. So these are always like optional little phases in this practice. If it doesn't suit you, you skip it. One more please, if you're taking them. Good. And then walk out to downward facing dog. Right knee into your chest, place your right foot forward. Left knee down. Half splits. Little pause. And then shift forward. Take your right foot a little wider to the right. Toes turn open just a bit. Come into half splits with that leg just on the slightest angle forward. And just see how that feels on your body. And then if you prefer the neutral, you'll come back to the neutral. If you want to start working this out into full Hanumanasana, but getting there doesn't seem like it's ever going to be a possibility, you use props. So if you have a block under the thigh or under the hip, so that you feel supported. Here's the deal with splits. They're tricky for a whole host of reasons. Your pelvis, we're asking our pelvis to do two really different things. It's like taking like a simple action of walking and putting it on crack, because we've got this crazy flexion here and this crazy extension here. So your hip flexor in the back leg is a factor. And then general hamstring on the front leg is a factor, right? So don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. I can easily do splits because I'm hypermobile, not in a good way. And I don't always get the most out of them. Like, it's not always the best place for me to hang out. For me, I get a lot more here than I do down here. So if you're one of those people, here's how to make, this is actually good for everybody, no matter what. Instead of just hanging out down here, try to lift up. So activating the body. So you're pushing down into that front heel. You're feeling the action of straightening the leg, that pushing the foot forward, that digging the heel down so that you're not just resting out in your joints and making those already really mobile muscles more mobile. See, Jordan, you have an advantage here. Did you know that? Because you said it's already hard, right? So now you already have that energy, rising energy. It's good, it's good. So you'll find where you want to be. I'm going to be here, because this is where I get most. Last couple of breaths. Whenever someone tells me that one of their goals is to be able to do a split, I don't want to like diminish that goal by any stretch, but I always I inevitably kind of do one of those jobs, because good, come out of it slowly, come into down dog. You have to think about why you want to do it. Like, I had a whole thread about this on my Instagram, but it's like a party trick, right? It's cool that you can do it. Good, left foot forward. First come straight on, Ardha Hanumanasana. And sometimes it does, it feels good. Like I'm not gonna lie, if you're one of those people that it feels good, I get it. So there's no harm in not doing it, but there's harm in harming yourself to be able to do it. It's just a pose, it's just a shape. Bend the front leg, walk that left foot a little wider, turn the toes slightly open. Get that tiniest bit of an angle and a little bit of external rotation and see how that feels. If that feels better, I want you to stay there. And then from there, if you want, you can start to take this deeper. I'm not going to, I'm going to stay here. I will say that markers like this is a very specific pose, right? And you get a lot of feedback from it. But on any given day, it can feel good or bad depending on what's going on, right? But it is interesting to have these poses that give us this feedback so that we can actually see how practicing works. Like we can open the body more, we can get stronger. We can become more familiar with things that were either unfamiliar, unattainable in our minds by practicing them. And some things just need to stay on the shelf because they just don't serve us. So when you do these poses, notice how you feel afterwards. And that's a really good indicator of if it's something that's worthy of you, worthy of your body. Like, last few breaths here. It was a long hold. And then gently release out of that. Pass through down dog or child's pose if you prefer that. And then come to seated. Really nice. Just take the legs out wide. Very briefly. Extend the legs out. Feel the heels stretch away from the hips. Push the heels down. And then bend the knees a little and drag the heels back toward your hips. Just get that little bit of lift. Pick up the hamstrings a little bit. Keep that. Extend back out. Let the eyes soften. About 5 breaths here. Good. And then bend the knees, draw the legs in. If you want to move to your back for Shavasana, I'm going to stay seated for a meditation. If you want to stay up in meditation, beautiful. You can use a block, or if you have a bolster or something to put under your hips, go for it. If you'd rather lie down, awesome, go for it. Wherever you feel comfortable to finish your practice. Allow your eyes to soften. That doesn't necessarily mean close. It means soften. Maybe they close. Allow yourself to do the minimum here. Not just allow, encourage it. Just quieting your outward senses, your need to work, to engage. Instead, cultivating quiet and still. Your side and you'd like to stay here longer, I encourage you to just ignore me, close your device, whatever you need to do, and just stay for as long as you'd like. If you need to return to the rest of the world, like I do, deepen your breath. Feel your systems. I literally feel my heart and my blood in my body here. There's like this pulsation. You might not feel that, but feel what you feel. If you're lying down, ride your breath, find your way up to sitting. If you're sitting, and when you're sitting, go ahead and bring your hands into your heart. Bow your mind to your heart. In this last moment, honor this time on your mat, this time you give yourself, and that you show up. I'm going to make it clear, you're showing up for yourself. You're not showing up for me, you're showing up for yourself, and that's what's important. Rise, let your eyes open gently. Thank you for your practice. Have a great day. Again, my name is Maeve. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. Let me know. If you need anything, future requests,